Hello everyone, my name is Wolfclock, and welcome to my biggest map yet. This is intro underscore level 7B, and I believe this chamber later turns out to become, chamber, what is it, 14? I think it was 14. But anyway, we have a lot of things to take a look at for this chamber, so let's get right to it. For starters, there is quite a bit of leftover content for Prospect era stuff for this map in the 2006 VMF for it. This up here is a fantastic example because I had noticed that a number of the at the time work in progress observation decks were actually their original Prospect observation decks. Just the textures were removed and replaced with like a plastic wall texture. I went ahead and reverted that, and I removed the other ones, so it's only these chambers, these ones that were very clearly from Prospect era, that stay in. Next up, we have the first room to this chamber. It is stated in a developer commentary that this first room was going to have a pellet redirection puzzle, but it was later moved to the next room. This one was just a fling introduction. As you can see, I brought that back. I think it works quite nicely. Obviously, these chambers aren't for beginners. These chambers are going to be given to people who know Portal, play Portal, love Portal. So I'm not too worried about getting players a little bit overwhelmed with these chambers. Anyway, next up we have the pellet redirection intro, which was stated in a developer commentary to have originally taken place at ground level, but they moved it back up because players kept getting themselves killed and redirecting the pellets into themselves. Again, another revision by yours truly. I think it works quite nicely for what it does. Obviously, I removed the victory lifts and replaced them with just simple doors. Actually required a fair amount of work to get things back all on the same level. But hey, I think it turned out quite nicely. This room, as you can tell, is quite different from what we get in the final game, but this is actually how the chamber was shaped in the 2006 version of the VMF. So I did my modifications based off of that, and I think it looks quite nice. Another, double fling intro. This spot over here I have a lot to talk about. So these fling ledges were actually leftovers from the VMF. They were hiding in a Viz group. I put them back in and I thought, well, alright, where are they supposed to go? They're the same length as this room, so I put them in this room, obviously. And I decided to make a little bit of a neat system to sort of go the player into jumping like that. These were taken from another chamber that I did, but they're not actually original assets, which is fine. Let us go ahead and... I did the wrong thing. Oops. My brain's running on autopilot right now. Sometimes you mess up with these, Will you pop, please? Thank you. Let's try that again. Voila. Beautiful, and that will get those lifts moving. The lifts, actually, I will have to show off as well, because those were things that I also manually redid. As you can see, we have our old electrified railing. The stuff that kills you as soon as you touch it, and the lifts are taken from a chamber as well, although I'm blanking on which one. Anyway, here we have the double button room. This chamber is quite interesting. We also had developer commentary for this room in particular, which stated that originally they used staircases. And very conveniently, we actually have said staircases in the map file. So I was like, hey, these look pretty cool, let's pop them back in. And so I turned them back on, and the chamber was too small. So I took a while to change this section over here, make it shorter, so that I could make this room a lot longer. Ooh. I don't know what that was. Hope my graphics card isn't dying. Anyway, let's move on with this chamber and solve it really quick. Click, click. Portal over there. Wonderful. One more thing to note about these staircases, actually, it's kind of interesting. These railings are completely non-solid. There are non-solid railings with player clips applied inside of them, and I believe the reason behind that was so that players would be able to shoot portals through them without having to worry about them, bumping. Yeah. I believe that is everything I have to say about this chamber. So, if you liked the video, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video, whatever that may be. Also, if you're interested in seeing more of these Portal early beta recreations, please let me know what you think. Please let me know what chambers you'd like me to work on in the future, and I'll get back to you on that. I promise. Until then, my name is Wolfblock, and I'll see you guys around. Ciao.